Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here, and welcome to another episode of Episode Rundown, where I, Shady Doorags, run down the episodes of Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. And before we get started with today's episode, just want to let you guys know that I'm now posting these on Reddit, on the Miraculous Ladybug Reddit. So if you want to go out there and discuss it with people, there's already people who've been starting discussions and whatnot, giving different perspectives and everything. So if you want to go there and check it out, you can. I'll probably put a link to the overall Reddit in the description of the video. So anyway, today we're looking at episode 10, Dark Cupid. And I'm just going to come right out and say it. This is probably my favorite episode so far. And it feels really good to... Oh, my voice just broke there. It feels really good. It feels really good to say something nice about the show for once, because I've been having like consecutive episodes where I've had the majority of negative things to say. But it feels really good to come into this episode and say a lot of positive things about it. So this episode starts with, it's Valentine's Day, and that's a whole hoopla thing in this show, considering how much crushes and love has to do with the overall concept. So it's Valentine's Day, and Adrian is writing a poem. And it's kind of funny, the teacher is like, Adrian, are you paying attention? What did I just say? And he's like, this, that, that. Like, I like when characters do that, when they can multitask and people think they can't. I don't know, that's always a little snicker to me, because that's how I try to do work. I try to do multiple things at once. Well, not really multiple things, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. So it starts with him writing a poem. He throws it away, and Marinette finds it. And it's saying how he has a crush on Ladybug when he has a crush on Marinette. And it's describing Marinette, basically. He completely ignores everything else that's about Ladybug. It describes the same features that she has with Marinette, which I'm just now noticing this kind of plays into a lot of the problem I had before, where they can't recognize different characters. And I was actually having a discussion with somebody with this on Reddit, how they were saying that they can overlook the whole, they can't recognize each other, because Adrian probably believes that Ladybug does not look like who she does in her secret identity. This actually poses a problem to that theory, because if Adrian is attracted to those certain qualities to the point that he writes them down in a poem, it shows that he actually does believe that this is what Ladybug really looks like. And of course, that brings about the whole issue of why he thought Chloe was Ladybug, why he would think anybody but Marinette is Ladybug, considering they look exactly alike. But that's something I just noticed. So I'm not really going to count it as something I dislike about the episode, though now that I'm thinking about it, it is a noticeable fault. So anyway, Adrian leaves the classroom, and Chloe is there, and she asks him to sign a petition to, I don't know, for some charity. And it's not really a petition, it's a poster, because Adrian doesn't like signing autographs. It's a poster that she tricked him into autographing, and above it she wrote, like, "To the love of my life, Chloe." And she did that so she could tell all the girls that Adrian actually does like her. Chloe is so much better in this episode than she has been in the past couple of episodes. They fixed a couple problems I had with Chloe, because as I've constantly been saying, I want Chloe to have more to her, but they keep making her generically mean. This time, when I think about a good mean girl, I think I've gone into this in the past, but I want to do some clarification, because I don't think I went into it all the way. When I think about a good mean girl, I think about a decent motivation, as long as the motivation doesn't come out of nowhere. Like you're not 5 seasons in and then suddenly you decide that they have a parent who's way too mean to them or something like that. I'm looking at you, Diamond Tiara. Yes, you know what you did. But mainly what I think makes a good bully character is they know how to bully the people they don't like, and they know how to look good in front of the people they do like, or the people who they think should see them in a good light. And that's where I think Chloe fails a lot of the time, is that she, in front of people she wants the admiration of, like Adrian and people higher up, she still acts like a brat. She still acts like somebody you wouldn't like. And she creates this delusional world where everyone loves her, even though it's pretty much clear that only one person or 2 people, her dad and her assistant, actually care about her. She's really living in her own fantasy world. But in this episode, she's still kind of in a fantasy world. I wouldn't have a hard time believing that she believed Adrian actually wrote "I love you" on that poster. But I like that she had a plan to make herself still look good in front of Adrian, and then use that to go and bully the girls to make them stay away from Adrian. That makes a lot of sense to my mind, and it shows a clever villain mindset. I know she's not a villain, but it shows a clever villain mindset that you can manipulate people like that. So the episode goes on, and Marinette says she's going to write a card to tell Adrian how she feels. Finally, that's good. That's good character progression, and it only took 10 episodes. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. Like a lot of times you go through shows like these, and they will never tell the person how they feel, or they'll be super direct with it, like I don't know, something like Totally Spies, where it's like Clover has a crush on one boy one day and another boy the next day, or something like that. It's good to see some progression, kind of like how in Kim Possible, where the progression is steady. Over the episodes, they start talking more. Over the episodes, they start dating more, etc., etc. And I mean Kim and Josh Mankey, not Kim and Ron. That came out of nowhere. But as the Marinette gains the confidence to do this because the poem is describing her, so she thinks he likes her, so that gives her the courage to write back. She walks past, I don't remember their names, but it's the jock from a previous episode and the nerd from that same episode. These two, the like 30 seconds they were on screen, I loved it so much. I said this before, foils. They are my absolute favorite thing of any literature piece ever. It's foiling. I love characters who foil. And my favorite type of foil, or at least one of my favorite types of foils, is the nerd and the jock. I love that because it tramps on such a hard cliche that's been done over the years. You know, nerds versus jocks. Constantly, those have been against each other. And I love foils because I love seeing two contrasting ideas putting together their differences to make something great. Like a nerd is stereotypically smart, but stereotypically physically weak, while a jock is stereotypically physically strong, but mentally weak. So those are all stereotypes. But when you put them together, the nerd can be smart and the jock can be strong, and they can make Freak the Mighty. And if you got that reference, congratulations. That is a very obscure reference. But yeah, I really liked them, and I really wanted to see more of them two together. I thought that was, I just love that part. So Marinette goes, she writes the card, and she decides to write it in the answer to his poem, which I think is really clever. Like, that's just the artist in me, just like, that's a very clever way of responding to that. The jock dude goes to, also Marinette encourages the jock dude to tell his crush that she loves, that he likes her. Because Marinette is on a high. She's like, yeah, everybody can fall in love. We can do this, especially if I can do it. We can all do it. So the jock dude goes to do it, and it turns out to be Chloe. And like as soon as you see Chloe, I thought it was gonna be Timebreaker, or the not supervillain version of Timebreaker. I thought it was gonna be her. It was Chloe, and I was just like, because you know the episode's called Dark Cupid. You know somebody's gonna get their heart broken. So you see Chloe come out, you're just like, oh, wow, this is going to go horrible for this guy. So he presents Chloe with his gift, which is a really nice gift, but Chloe is Chloe. She's superficial. And let's give it up for the villain of the episode. Not Hawkmoth, not Dark Cupid, but that one random guy who was on a bicycle and decided to ride past a dude who was presenting a gift to a girl he liked. That guy is some serious evil. He rode right in that puddle, splashed water on the dude's face, did not stop to apologize. Just wow. And then, so the jock dude pretty much gets humiliated in front of Chloe. She not only says no, but pulls a Victoria and takes a picture of him, completely embarrassed, and sends it to everybody. And that makes him elevated for the Akuma. I know I'm being a bit long in this one, like I'm going longer than most of the videos, but it's been a long time since I've had an episode that I really, really liked. So just bear with me. So the episode goes on, and he gets turned into Dark Cupid. Not too crazy on the name, but the design surprised me, because when I saw the name was Dark Cupid, I had a completely different design in mind. But he looked like kind of like a robotic dark angel, which is a good concept. It took me a bit to get used to it. And his motivation was that he wanted to destroy love, and he wanted to make Chloe pay. And of course, he's an criminal, so he wants to get the Miraculous. So meanwhile, Marinette's doing her thing, writing the card, and this was very clever. The episode said Alia said, make sure you sign it. I was thinking that whole thing in my head too. Like, make sure you sign it because I don't want to have a repeat. Then a ladybug flies in on the card, and they do so well to just, at least it worked for me. Maybe they don't do well, but it worked for me. They distract you from the fact that she doesn't sign it. And that was really good because a lot of things happen, and at the end of the episode, that winds up being a thing. She's like, did you sign it or not? And I was like, oh, snap. She didn't sign it. Like, I completely forgot she didn't sign it because the ladybug flies in through the window, and it kind of gives you a sense of satisfaction that she did sign it, even though she didn't. So they go to deliver the letter, and Dark Cupid shows up, and his arrows, his power is he shoots arrows, and they make people hate the people that they love. The episode says that they love, but it's really any kind of affection that you have for somebody. It can be family love, true love, crushes, friendship, admiration. It can be any kind of strong affection you feel for somebody. It makes you hate them, and it makes you want to do wrong to them. And I thought that was, yeah, you know, Dark Cupid. That's exactly what you would expect a Dark Cupid to do. He hits Alia. Alia is holding candy apples, and she like throws them on Marinette's shirt, which I hate that. I hate it when sticky stuff gets on a person's clothes. It's like a pet peeve of mine. But yeah, and Marinette's trying to get him off, and blah 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 blah. That part, I'm mentioning this part because it comes back. It's actually very important to the episode and why I like this episode. So Ladybug, you know, Marinette turns into a ladybug and goes to fight the dude. Cat Noir shows up, and he is like dead set on telling Ladybug how he feels. Like, he wants her to know it's real. And that's an interesting concept because, like, they've been building up that, yeah, he feels a serious way about Ladybug, even though she constantly takes it as a joke. And he's never really had the right time to tell her, which I think is interesting with his character. A lot of times I'm debating on whether or not these feelings are actual feelings or if they're just... Because, you know, when it comes to teenage stuff like that, there are a lot of superficial reasons that teenagers tend to like somebody, both in media and outside of media. And there's a lot of, that's why it's called crushes. You know, not that adults can't have crushes, it's just that a lot of times, because when teenagers talk about love and whatnot, they're really talking about crushes. They're attracted to people for superficial reasons, and they want to get to know that person better because of those superficial reasons. But they think it's like true love or something like that. But Cat Noir, he's trying to put it out there that it's not just a crush, that these feelings are serious, whatnot. He doesn't have time to say it. He gets hit with a dark arrow. And oh, this part was amazing. Cat Noir was a villain. Not like Copycat. No, this is Cat Noir's personality as a villain. And I thought that was great. There's just something about cat people, like, where you think they should be villains, you know, because cats are generally jerks in general. But, you know, thinking about things like Catwoman and Black Cat, those are all, they're like always treading the line. Sometimes they're villains, sometimes they're heroes, sometimes they're anti-villains, etc., etc. And they're just such likable characters when they're on the villain side. And seeing Cat Noir as a villain, I was like, oh, he should have been a villain. That would have been awesome if he was a villain and he was still in love with Ladybug. Oh, man, I enjoyed seeing them fight, and I was just, you know, the inner comic book fanboy in me came out like, oh, who's going to win? Who's actually the better fighter? Is it Ladybug? Is it Cat Noir? And then Ladybug flashes back to something that was said earlier in the episode, that true love breaks spells and whatnot. So she determines that she has to kiss Cat Noir, which I'm sure all the fans of the show were really super excited about because this whole concept of this show is about them two liking each other. So if you're attracted to it, naturally you're going to want to see them kiss. So, and this is a part I'm going to say is probably a guilty pleasure. We as society, we have a tendency to judge when the guy is the predator, but when the girl is the predator, we kind of find that cute. I am not guilty of the former, but I am guilty of the latter. When there's a predatory girl, and it's not on like a soap opera level, because those people are scary, But when there's a predatory female, like a cartoon or something, I find that really cute, really charming. And it was just hilarious to watch her try to, like, Cat Noir got immediately scared as she tried to forcefully kiss her. And Ladybug was not scared. Like, she wasn't hesitant or nothing. She's like, oh, this has got to get done. Come on, pucker her up. Let's do it. There's just something charming about that. I don't know. So anyway, the episode proceeds. Dark Angel goes after Chloe, and he decides not to shoot her because he believes that she doesn't have any love in her heart. I would have preferred if he did shoot her and she didn't change. That would have said something interesting about Chloe. Like, if she still was attracted to Adrian, even though she was hit by the arrow, because that would show that she didn't actually have an affection for Adrian. But I guess it kind of would have went against continuity, because like I said, it wasn't just love he was getting rid of, it was any kind of affection, and she does have some kind of affection for Adrian. So the episode goes on, and Dark Angel says that he'll help Cat Noir get rid of Ladybug, because Cat Noir is evil now because he got hit with an arrow. He'll help him get rid of Ladybug if Cat Noir helps him get her Miraculous. Honestly, I think it would have been a better idea if he just said, give me your Miraculous and I'll take care of her. Like, I think Cat Noir at this point is under mind control, but that's a nitpick. So anyway, the episode goes on, and Ladybug does eventually turn Cat Noir back by kissing him. Again, I'm sure a lot of people were waiting to see this. I would not be shocked if this was a lot of people's favorite episode because of that. You know, the whole... I'm sure there was a lot of squealing going on in this episode. Sadly, Cat Noir cannot remember the kiss. Poor dude. It was really interesting too, because he had his cataclysm ready, and she's just like, no, she snaps him out. He has no idea what's going on. She then throws him and says, get me the locket or whatever. And that happens. So they destroy the Akuma, and the Lucky Charm. Oh, the Lucky Charm. I forgot about that. The Lucky Charm in this episode actually worked. I liked the Lucky Charm in this episode. You know why? Because it took an item that was used earlier, that was foreshadowed, the candy apple, the candy heart apple, and it used those abilities to solve the problem. That's what they should be doing with the lucky item, because it allows the viewer to think, how can this situation be solved with something that has already been introduced? Other lucky items, it's just, hey, here's the exact item that you've never seen before that will help solve this situation completely. If they did that, even though the item does come out of nowhere, I still think it would work as a story-driven concept, because the reader can now... The reader can now guess. The reader can now see it coming. A surprise should always be possible to see coming, I think. Maybe not always. Maybe not always. There are some surprises I think were really good surprises, like the end of Pirates of the Caribbean 2, that you couldn't have guessed. But most surprises, I should say twists, most, if not all twists, should be able to be predicted. Really good twists are because you were able to predict it, but you still didn't. That's why the example I always bring up is The Sixth Sense. The Sixth Sense is so good because the twist is foreshadowed throughout the entire movie, and when you finally get to it, you're just like, oh, geez, I did not see that coming. So I love that I hope they do that from now on. I hope the Lucky Charm is something that was foreshadowed throughout the episode, because they not only showed the candy apples, but they showed why they were a hindrance, what they could do in that situation, and it worked so well. So, but what I was about to say, I was actually about to say a complaint. The Lucky Charm didn't fix Chloe's poster, and I know they did that just to make Chloe pay to try to give people some satisfaction, but that kind of steps on the consistency, because one problem I had with the Lucky Charm was that it fixed everything, even though some certain things weren't the fault of the Akuma or Hawkmoth or the situation at hand. They just happened. But this episode now I thought it was too convenient. This episode, it doesn't do it because it wants to make Chloe pay. that is worse because now it's stepping on continuity and consistency. Or consistency, not continuity. I always get those two mixed up. And I just didn't like that. Again, I would call it a nitpick compared to all the things I did like about this episode, but yeah, I didn't like that. So the episode comes to an end, and Cat Noir really wants to tell Ladybug, but their time's about to run out, so he lets her go. And this is the part that I've been thinking about the most when it comes to this episode, and I'm not sure whether it's a good thought or a bad thought. Basically, Adrian gets back, and he's sad because he didn't get to tell Ladybug how he felt. He really wanted to do it on Valentine's Day. And Plaid's telling him, you have so many admirers. You don't have to go after Ladybug. And that's making me think, does Cat Noir actually feel a certain way about Ladybug because of her personality, or it's because she's something he can't have? Because this dude can indeed have anybody he wants, including, when you think about it, he could have Ladybug because he could have Marinette. But he doesn't pursue any of them. He doesn't even care to pursue any of them. He gets so many Valentines, but he doesn't care to pursue any of them because they're not Ladybug. They're not the one who's willing to say no. It could be that he does actually like her for her personality and whatnot, and he's just not interested in anyone else. But just seeing that he's not even willing to give anybody else a chance it's kind of upsetting, because you think about, Ladybug's not willing to give him a chance, but he's not willing to give other people a chance. So, what to do? And I think the same thing about Marinette. Like, she really likes Adrian, despite the fact that even though they do, like, see each other every single day, they don't spend a lot of time with each other, because Marinette can't speak when she's talking specifically to Adrian. Like, they go to the same events. They go to school, they go to their friends' stuff and whatnot. And Marinette stalks Adrian, but does she really know Adrian? Like, she knows he's a nice guy and whatnot, but does she really know him? It seems more like she's clinging on to his fame and whatnot. I mean, Adrian is a nice guy. Maybe that's what she likes about him. Maybe all the nice things she's done about him. Again, this is why I'm not sure whether to feel positive or negative about the situation. I can't really ship these two. I can't. I can't ship Ladybug and Cat Noir, and I can't ship Marinette and Adrian, because neither of them seem to be giving other people fair shots. And when you think about it, it's kind of superficial. The fact that Marinette does like Adrian, Cat Noir does like Ladybug, but Adrian doesn't like Marinette, and Ladybug doesn't like Cat Noir. Now, Ladybug has a better leg to stand on because... actually, I shouldn't say she has a better leg. They both kind of have a leg to stand on because they act differently when they're outside their superhero. So it's what I talked about before, which is the mask and which is the actual person. So again, I'm not making any definitive statements. I'm not going to say they are a bad ship. I'm going to say I can't really ship them together because of this lack of willing to even think about other people who feel the same way about them. They reject others while at the same time feeling bad about being rejected. So, overall, yeah, I love this episode. I love this episode. I don't know if I'd call it an insta-fave, but it is pretty much up. It's up there somewhere. I really did like a lot of the things that were going on in this episode. It addressed a lot of the concern. It addressed Chloe. It addressed the Lucky Charm. And it kind of went into the secret identities. I don't think it really addressed them too well, but, And foiling, I really want to see some foiling in this show. I think Tiki and Plaid would make great foils. I want to see those two interact more. But yeah, this was a really fun episode. I was really glad to finally say something good about Ladybug, especially since now I'm putting these on Reddit. And actual fans of the show are actually commenting and whatnot. But yeah, this is fun. So I'll see you guys next time for episode 11. This has been Shady Doorags. So long, farewell, ad Vida say.